The narcissist hates your happiness. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. In this video, I want to discuss why the narcissist hates to see you happy. Now, this is something I found so bewildering in my relationship with my ex-narc. I could not understand why it seemed like whenever I was feeling happy and optimistic, he would try to bring me down. I mean, when we first met, my energy, my positive outlook on life, my general happiness was something he was drawn to, because no matter what was going on, I was the one looking for the bright side of things, the one who looked for the silver lining in every problematic situation. But it wasn't long before I began to notice he seemed to enjoy taking the wind out of my sails. It could be something as simple as commenting on the weather. I would mention that it was a beautiful day, the sun was shining, and the temperature outside was perfect, and he'd come back with something like, well, enjoy it while you can, because it's supposed to turn cloudy and rain later today, and the temperature is supposed to drop. Well, now, that's a low-key example, but remarks like that diminish your positivity, and it lowers your mood. Now, another more obvious example was when I was offered a new job in which I would be making double the salary I was currently earning. And I was excited for this new opportunity and told him about it. And his response was that while the new job did indeed pay more, it wasn't really a high-paying job and not enough money to live on if that was my only source of income. When it wasn't my only source of income, I was married to him, but that response certainly lowered my excitement over the job. He was retired, but he had made a lot of money, a lot more money than me during his career, and his comments made me feel like I wasn't as successful in my work as he has been, or that he didn't see me as successful as he had been. So again, he was able to poke a hole in my happiness balloon. And so a more intense example was one time my son was visiting with his girlfriend, and we decided to have a bonfire. My stepson was also there with a couple of his friends, and we were having a great time. We're getting the fire going and just hanging out. And I was so happy because my son and my stepson were talking and laughing together. Everybody's having a good time. So my stepson and I were gathering a little more wood to keep the fire going, and I noticed a bag of wood pieces in our garage that my stepson had brought home from school. So I asked him if was he saving this wood for something special, and he told me no, we can go ahead and burn it. He could always get more. So I take the bag of wood and I threw the pieces into the fire. I had just finished doing this when my husband came outside to join us. Almost immediately, he noticed the now empty bag and said, "You didn't burn the wood that was in that bag, did you?" And I thought, oh no, because obviously I had, and I told him so. My husband went from speaking in a normal tone of voice to screaming at me for burning the wood. He did it in front of my son, my son's girlfriend, my stepson, and two other people. I was shocked. I was embarrassed, and I felt humiliated. And I could not get him to stop yelling at me. I kept apologizing for burning the wood. I offered to get him some more wood. My stepson even said, calm down, I can get more. But none of that stopped him from continuing to yell at me. Now, I wanted to add here that my response to my husband screaming at me is known as fawning, as in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Now, what fawning is a defense mechanism in which the victim tries desperately to placate the abuser and will do or say anything to get the abuse to stop, which includes apologizing when you haven't done anything wrong. I mean, you would have thought I had burned our furniture from our home rather than a bag of wood pieces left over from my stepson's school project. So while my husband went into the garage, continuing his screaming rant, everyone else looked at me with shock and concern and sympathy. It was awful. They said, "Lisa, I'm so sorry." My stepson even said, "I didn't mean to get you in trouble." My own son was quiet and simply looked at me and said, "Mom, this isn't okay. It isn't right. Nothing about this is right." And here I am just busy trying to calm the situation down and get back to having fun. But of course, that was impossible. My husband had yet again sabotaged a good time. Not just for me, but for everyone who was there. It more than put a damper on the evening, it killed it. My stepson and his friends left shortly after the scream fest because he was embarrassed by his father's behavior, and his friends were now uneasy being there. Who wouldn't be? Really? My son and his girlfriend were visiting from out of state, so they couldn't just leave. And now they felt uncomfortable being there. And when all this happened, I was just confused and shocked by his reaction. I couldn't understand why he freaked out and why nothing I could say could calm him down. I mean, he really couldn't be that mad over burning some wood, could he? What the hell was wrong with him? Well, my happiness. How dare I be laughing and happy and he's not the reason for that? How dare any of us be laughing and happy and he's not the reason for that? And while I didn't realize it at the time, my stepson defending me to his father only made my husband angrier, since his son taking up for me was seen by my husband as a betrayal from his son. That's really how they think. The narcissist will get butthurt over your happiness, and there's a few reasons for this. They feel slighted by you if your happiness comes from a source other than them. They don't feel genuine happiness, and so your happiness reminds them of this fact. They feel entitled and deserving of more than others deserve, so you don't deserve to feel happy when they don't feel happy. Your happiness threatens their domination and control. They're envious of your ability to feel true happiness since they can't. They feel powerful and significant when they can control how you and others feel. Your pleasure is their pain, and conversely, your pain is their pleasure. Misery loves company. Depending on a narcissist to be the source of your happiness is a huge pitfall. They can't cultivate happiness within themselves, so they certainly can't spark happiness in others. So in order for you to survive emotionally in a relationship with a narcissist, you learn to dial back your happiness. Once you've become accustomed to having your happy moments squashed, you begin to not let them know that something made you smile, that something made you happy. And over time, you'll notice that you're no longer having to hide your happiness because you're no longer happy. And this is when the narcissist is going to use your unhappiness against you, saying you've changed. You used to be so optimistic and cheerful. What happened to you? You should see a professional about that. And this helps them gaslight you, so you begin to wonder what's wrong with you. You think, well, I was a happy person and now I'm not. It must be me. And I'm going to expand on this in my next video on how being with a narcissist changes you. So be sure to tune in for that. Look, narcissists cannot, nor do they desire, to be a catalyst for your happiness, but they can certainly be the catalyst for your pain, for your suffering, and for your sadness. I was never more sad, more anxious, or more depressed in my life than I was when I was with the narcissist ex. The happy moments were few, and the unhappy moments were many. And once I lost my general happiness while being with him, I didn't even begin to regain it until I left him, and that's sad. I mean, you enter into the relationship with a narcissist expecting to enhance your life and enhance your happiness, only to experience perhaps the most unhappy moments you've ever known. And that was certainly the case for me. And this is why the only way back to your happiness is to disengage from the narcissist. The only seemingly happy times passed. After that love bombing stage ended, it passed. It's over, and you're never going to get it back. The only way back is to leave. Thank you all for taking the time to listen, and as always, may you have a blessed day.